Hi Gemini, welcome to your 2020 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are new, for those of you that are true, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button if it should so resonate. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of my continued subbies. You know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Stay tuned for the 1st of March when I release my Mindset Magic course. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to taking it out there. And I think I've worked really hard on it, so I'm really looking forward to getting it out there. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, may help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, not just a new year, not just a new month, not just a new year, but a brand new decade. How are you going to start your 2020? Remember, your cards can tell you so much, your astrology can tell you so much, but ultimately what you choose and how you do it is always up to you. Your actions and interactions with the world at large this month, you have the Queen of Pentacles. You are all about your money. You're all about your finances. This is about you getting proactive, and it's really saying to you that this month you're going to be very active about how to change your physical material experience. Your actions and interactions with the world at large is what you do. It's how you move through the world, how you show up in a material sense every single day. Your Queen of Pentacles would be an earth sign female, so she would be a Taurus, a Virgo or a Capricorn. But as an experience, the Queen of Pentacles is about increasing what you can get out of something. If you've got a fiver, how do you make it 100 quid? If you've got 100 quid, how do you make it 1,000, and so on? This is about getting the most out of everything that you have, which really does, for me, suggest that this month you are being very proactive about your material life. How do I make more money? How do I better use the money and the resources that I have? Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. At the time of recording these, my nose, and it's literally just the tip of it. It feels like somebody's got a feather and they're just flicking it over the edge. It's driving me nuts. Right, so how do you get the most out of everything that you have? This could be your home, it could be your physical body. This could, and interesting because this is in your actions, right? So this is your big main focus for January. This is your big main focus for the year ahead, effectively, because this reading kind of sets the tone for your year, right? For your month and for your year, and therefore, you know, you're kind of like your decade as well. Yes, it will grow and it will change and it will evolve. That's the whole point of the Queen of Pentacles. How do I get more out of what I already have? How do I increase the yield, as one of my favorite readers always says? How do I get the most out of what I'm doing and ultimately where I'm going with everything? So let's have a look, see at your money and materials. What is going on in your finances this month? Let's have a look, see. All right, so you have the 9 of Wands. This is really about you talking and speaking. This is about you getting out of your system how you feel about your material experience, how you feel about your money, how you feel about your finances. Now, the 9 of Wands, for a lot of you, this really does feel for me like this month you're saying, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses. So if you have loaned money out and you've been waiting for it forever, this month you could be saying, you know what, I'm just going to write it off. This could be you looking at your expenses and saying to yourself, you know what, I don't need that. It's something superfluous. I'm paying for it, but I don't use it. Anything of that nature, or anything that has stopped kind of doing what it says it does. Do you know what I mean? So this could, whatever it is across the board, this will see you looking at the things that you use your money and materials on, and it could see you saying, you know what, that no longer gives me the same value. It no longer gives me the same benefit as it did when I signed up to it or when I first bought it. Excuse me. I'm just going to hold my nose. Stop flicking me. All right. The other thing as well, when it comes to your physical health, the 9 of Wands does suggest that you'll be really proactive about that. And not just because it's January, but more because this is about something in the long term for you. This is really you saying, right, okay, where is it that my energy resources, my internal resources are going? For a lot of you, because it comes through next to the Queen of Pentacles, this could really see a lot of you either delving into energy work, Or it could see you really saying to yourself, you know what, I've neglected my health, and this month I'm going to start to address that stuff. It's interesting because it's kind of like, as you're overhauling your physical health, you'll start to overhaul your financial stuff as well. And the Queen of Pentacles is very diligent. She goes through everything with a fine tooth comb to make sure that she's getting the best, so that she can increase the beneficial energy that surrounds her, right? Really, really interesting. So your communications with the world at large, you have the Six of Swords. For some of you, this could be you planning a journey. For others, this could be about you really deciding what it is that you want to release and where it is that you no longer want to interact with certain people or certain groups. This could be a month where you're really starting to distance yourself from things that you kind of already knew deep down were not really being, just weren't really beneficial for you. Now, because you've got the Six of Swords in your communications, this could really see you being a lot more proactive. Now, the thing that I've found about Geminis is, yes, you guys deal with the facts, but you also have a side of you that is able to kind of just switch off when somebody's not, acting in the way that you kind of think that they should be. To call a spade, sometimes you ignore the stuff about people that you see that probably isn't very good for you. This month, you could be doing the complete opposite. With the Six of Swords, you could literally either be calling it as you see it, because it comes with the Nine of Wands. So you could literally just be saying to someone, or to a special, a set of someone's, you know what, I kind of either need you to get on the same wavelength that I'm on, or maybe we need to spend less time together. For some of you, you might just start distancing yourself from certain people anyway. Six of Swords even sees you moving away from difficult experiences or difficult times. And because you've got it in your communications, this could be just you saying, you know what, I'm not going to spend so much time with that person. Their energy, their space, their whatever just doesn't resonate with me anymore. You could be very vocal about this though this month, because you've got the Nine of Wands there, which kind of suggests, you may have had moments or periods where you're like, you know what, nobody ever seems to listen to me. Well, this month they're going to hear me. All right. So just keep that in mind. In your personal relationships, in your heart and half, you've got the Ace of Wands. This is beautiful, because it suggests that in your travels, or suggests that in doing things differently, in communicating with different people, or with phasing out certain people, new persons could show up. The Ace of Wands, for those of you that are single, this could be somebody that you are really attracted to, and vice versa. It could be somebody that is really fun, somebody that's really vibrant, somebody that reminds you of who you are, who you were before all of the crap set in. With this Queen of Pentacles, this really feels for me like going through everything and just cleaning out the dross, right? Cleaning out all of the stuff that doesn't need to be there. For those of you that are partnered, this could suggest that you and your partner finally have time to start spending together. It's almost like whatever the obstacles or the challenges were that you faced as a couple, they start to melt away this month, and you start to say, you know what is important here? What is important to me now? What is actually worth taking my time? What is worth putting my energy and and my efforts into? And if it's not your relationship, then obviously you need to rethink that. So this month, it looks like the energy is there for that, and you guys can say, yeah, you know what? Let's get back to being us. Let's get back to where we used to be. All right. Your first week of the month, you have the Magician right underneath the Queen of Pentacles. You could be amazing with finances this month. You could be really very proactive. You could be a wizard or a witch. When it comes to increasing these things, you could find ways to save yourself a lot of money. You could find new things that you want to offer to the world. If you have your own business, the Magician card really does suggest that there's something that you're doing that could be revamped in order to start making you more money, or even just to start increasing what you can earn from what it is that you already do. For those of you that work for other people, or for companies or whatever, this really does suggest that you're finding ways to be more efficient. It's almost like you're getting better at your job, but without really trying. It sees you moving into a top spot of some sort, which is beautiful. Fantastic energy. All right, so your second week of the month, you have the Moon card right underneath that Nine of Wands. Really interesting, because the Moon card is 18, 1 and 8 gives you 9. And then you've got the Nine of Wands there. This really is about things coming full circle when it comes to the finances, when it comes to the money, when it comes to the materials. And because you've got the Moon card here right underneath the Nine of Wands, it sees you kind of saying, you know what, I refuse to live the same mistakes of the past, whether they be parental mistakes that you were witness to, whether it's your own mistakes of cycles that you find yourself in when it comes to money and materials. This month you're really saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I refuse to go through this experience. It's almost like you're saying, you know what, I'm going to take myself out of the self-perpetuating prophecies and I'm going to clean that stuff up. And by doing so, you allow this new cycle to begin. It's actually a really great way for you to start the year, because it's kind of like you're spring cleaning your life in some way, shape or form, right? And you're doing that here in January. So by the time you get to spring, you're ready to plant, you know, you're ready to go. Third week of the month, you have the Hanged Man. Yeah, interesting, really interesting, because your Hanged Man is already saying, look, you know what does your spiritual life look like? Is it clean? Is it, you know, when I say clean, that's not to say that it isn't, but are you dedicating time to your spiritual life? Are you dedicating time to the pursuits that actually feel like they resonate with you? And this could be one of the reasons that certain people or groups are being phased out for you this month, because you're like, you know what, they just don't resonate with me and where it is that I see myself going now. You know, this Hanged Man represents Neptune or Pisces, and then you've got the Moon card, which is Pisces. So you've got a lot of this kind of, not necessarily dreamy energy, but it's more sort of wishful and wanting to transcend. It's kind of like this month you're saying, you know what, I want more than I've currently had, and I now understand what it is that I'm going to have to change. There's a lot of internal shifts happening for you here in January, and that's going to create a lot of external shifts. It's always the way that it works. Your fourth week of the month, you've got the Empress. I mean, for those of you that are single, this looks brilliant. Lots of fun, lots of pleasure, sexual, sensual, you know, just fun and enjoyment. For those of you that are partnered, lots of the same. Now, I will say this to you, for those of you that are partnered, or those of you that do get into a new relationship, this is a very fertile month for you, especially here at the end of the month. You know, just as we're about to go into February, this could be a really fertile time. So if another baby or new babies is not what you want, be sure to exercise caution, you know, around those things. But yeah, for all of you, very sensual, very sexual, very enjoyable, lots of fun, lots of vibrancy, good food, good wine, just lots of sensual pleasure, you know, really living life and living it well. And this could be you've just had a card fly out there, this could be in response to the big shifts and changes that you're making. It's almost like on a practical level and on an internal level, you're just spring cleaning and overhauling everything and saying, you know what, I know where I want to go from here. All right, your key to the month is the Sun card. Look at that. Ultimate blessings, ultimate life. And it really does suggest, and I've said this for everybody so far in some part of their reading, if you are willing to do this work here in January, right, if you're willing to do this work, magical things could really find you. You know, big experiences could shape up for you. And the Sun card is a key to the month. Live well, live in your body, show up, be present and be passionate, and ultimately listen to what your new evolving consciousness has to say for you and where it wants to take you from here on in. It's going to be a really great month for you, lots of internal growth and therefore external shifts. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care and I'll see you soon.